Now, from WBRZ News 2, this is Tune In.
It's 5 a.m. Good morning, South Louisiana. We're glad you could tune in on this Thursday, November 19th. I'm John Pansterek.
Good morning. I'm Kylie Dixon. Our top story, a new beginning for a South Louisiana movie theater rocked by gunfire. The Grand Theater in Lafayette reopens its doors to moviegoers. A ceremony is planned tonight before it reopens for the first time since July, when a gunman went on a rampage, shooting 11 people, killing 2. And as officers closed in on the suspect, he killed himself. Before the theater reopens, first responders and religious leaders will join in prayer.
Another big story following this morning. New York officials on high alert following an alleged ISIS threat.
We will not be intimidated, and we will not live in fear.
New ISIS video released Wednesday threatens an impending attack on New York City. Featured video from Times Square and what appears to be a bomb being tucked beneath the jacket of a bomber. Officials aren't ignoring the video, but they're being careful about how seriously they take it. A week before Thanksgiving, and that's more like it. Finally feels like November out there.
Yeah, we're kind of starting in the 40s, Josh. It's a little cooler this morning for sure than it was even just a couple days ago.
Absolutely. A big change over the last 36 hours or so since we've seen that cold front come through, but that's not the star-making cold front. That one will come this weekend.
Love that.
But in the meantime, you're starting off your day with some reduced visibilities in some locations. Now, ironically, the location with the worst visibility, New Roads, is not in a dense fog advisory. We do have one posted until 8 o'clock in the morning, though, for Tangipahoa Parish and also Pike County, but Hammond reporting 10-mile visibility, 5-mile visibility in Macomb. Dense fog advisory means there could be pockets where visibility is a quarter mile or less for 2 or more hours. You hit one of those patches, low beam headlights, take it easy on the roads, and we'll get where we're going just fine. Let's take a look at the satellite radar view. No issues out there early today. Some showers just to the southeast of Grand Isle, but no clouds seen inland on the satellite radar view, so those patches of fog are very thin as we don't see any kind of organized area of gray on the map. So patchy will be the word this morning. 48 degrees is the current temperature. Shouldn't drop off a whole lot more. So that is your chilly beginning today, and your drivecast shapes up like this. After early fog, lots of sunshine expected. Temperatures will climb pretty quickly through the 50s and 60s. We're headed for the low 70s this afternoon. Forecasting 72, then 71 for tomorrow, and then Saturday, starting to think we might see a passing shower as a front comes through the area. Say goodbye to the 60s after Saturday. It looks like we're going to be into the 50s for a couple of days for highs, and yeah, by Monday we might be flirting with our first freeze of the season, which would be right about on time with the calendar in terms of the average time we see that. Traffic tracker is empty this morning. The Plaquemine Ferry is open. Let's go ahead and check the traffic cameras where we see a little bit of volume over the bridge early today, but nothing major to report right now. That is traffic and weather. For your first update, we're going to have all the rest of them on the 2s throughout our broadcast. That's coming up in 10 minutes with the next one. Now today's headlines, JP and Kylie.
Hey, thanks, Josh. We continue with new information in the murder investigation of a Baton Rouge couple.
Yes, second arrest has been made in the deaths of Dennis and Suzanne Duplanche. Baton Rouge police say Frank Garcia was arrested in Hollywood, Florida. He's from there. Police haven't released any other information, but did say information during their investigation led them to Garcia. Ernest Alonzo was also arrested last month in the couple's death. He was picked up in the Miami area and will face a judge this morning for an extradition hearing. Duplanches were bound, strangled, and killed in their home on Highland Road in October. Their bodies were found in their pickup truck at a truck stop in Hammond. In Baton Rouge, police say they're not sure of the suspect's relationship. We could learn more information about the case later today.
Looking ahead, the East Baton Rouge Parish budget up for discussion in tonight's Metro Council meeting. In next year's budget, the mayor wants more money for police. There's a bid for $1 million for police to put towards new squad cars. Some of the current ones are 10 years old. More money will also be allocated for Police Academy to graduate 24 new officers in the spring.
It has always been the mayor's first priority to fund public safety, and that's what this budget takes care of. We'll have more policemen and more firemen on the streets than any time in the city parish history.
Next year's budget also includes the reorganization of the Department of Public Works and pay raises for some parish employees. When it comes to the state budget, raises aren't an option. Leaders are trying to fill $500 million hole. The Jindal administration announced higher education will be spared cuts. The governor plans to tap into the state's rainy day fund.
And in an effort not to make significant policy decisions prior to a new governor taking office, we decided in concert with the legislature that utilization of a small amount of rainy day funds was a the best option for us to protect higher ed.
Healthcare will be slashed another $130 million. The legislature has 30 days to approve the plan.
And we're 2 days away from heading to the polls. Voters in Livingston Parish are electing change. Residents are fed up with how the city council has handled things. This is what the council looked like before. But 3 chose not to seek re-election, and voters kicked 5 others out of office in October. Jim Norred is now on the hot seat. People say they are tired of listening to the council bicker, and they're not surprised to see so many council members ousted.
Because the incumbents need to be off the council because they, in my opinion, they hadn't done their job properly.
Gary Talbert is challenging Norred for the seat representing the Watson area. 2 were separated by only 12 votes in the primary. Of course, the election day is coming up this Saturday. Governor Bobby Jindal no longer running for president after a tough time gaining traction on the campaign trail. Been critical of the debate process that left him separate from the top candidates in the polls, but has no regrets and doesn't blame anyone for his failure to attract voters. The governor also gave a hint of what's next for him once his term as governor ends in January.
I'll certainly go back to the policy think tank that I created called America Next to detail ideas about how this century can be the American century, just like this last century was. The reality is, I think Republicans, conservatives in particular, have an obligation to specify how we want to lead differently and how we think that we can fight for opportunity and growth, not redistribution, not more taxes and spending and borrowing.
Well, Jindal says he's staying out of the current governor's race, and he looks forward to helping the winner with the transition.
Now to a story from the investigative unit about police officers on the job without proper training. Nearly half of the officers on the New Roads police force are not post-certified, but still have guns and a badge. Post-certified officers have gone through a rigorous firearm training program. A New Roads officer told us he's worried that lack of training is putting citizens at risk. He wants to keep his job, so we've distorted his voice to hide his identity.
If they're not trained, what's to say that, another Marksville incident's not going to happen? It's worse than the buddy system. It's family system. Everybody knows everybody, so I'm going to let my cousin go off with this warrant, but you're going to go to jail for not having a driver's license because I don't know you.
Only 2 full-time officers in New Roads are not post-certified, and they will enroll in a program after the first year of the year.
Time to tee up or not? A decision has been made about the future of a Breck golf course. After a number of surveys, public meetings, and recommendations, the course at Howell Park will close, be transformed into a community park. The park will include picnic areas, a new recreation center, multi-purpose fields, walking and jogging paths, basketball courts, and a playground. It has a history of having the lowest number of rounds played of any 18-hole course in the nation.
Yeah, then it's going to bring a lot of people from everywhere else here, and I don't like that. I mean, I like it quiet. This neighborhood is quiet, just like it is.
Howell Park Golf Course will remain open until the summer when construction is slated to begin. This park will be built in phases as funding becomes available. When I was back in high school, we used to play that golf course all the time.
Well, they're missing you.
Well,
they're missing you right now.
Unfortunately, not missing the balls because they used to hit them in the ditch all the time.
You can't find
them. And they
them.
had concrete ditches, and they would hit the ditch and bounce back up, sometimes bounce backwards. You ever hit a shot and it went backwards?
No.
Did it many times at Howell Park.
Well, there you go.
You know what I'm talking about if you played. Well, still to come this Thursday morning, the terrorist threat growing. Now, American cities are on high alert. We'll have the latest from New York City.
Plus, when's the best time to shop till you drop over the holidays? Coming up, some shopping tips that will save you and Santa big time. But first, it is 5:09, 48 degrees. We'll be back.